Okay, so we are going live, I hope. Just making sure that everything is up and running. So let me know if the sound is good. I kind of rejigged my setup a bit. You can't tell, but I've done it. So today we are testing out Hitman World of Assassination, which has finally come to the Mac once again. So Hitman, the reboot trilogy, kind of Hitman 1 was as a Mac had a Mac port, but Hitman 2 we could only was Windows only, but we could run it before the days of game porting toolkit using DXVK with mixed results, some graphical issues. And then now with D3D Metal and Game Porting Toolkit, we can now run this game through crossover. But it's finally come to the Apple ecosystem. So earlier, I think it was October or September last year, we had the iPhone, iPad release, and also the App Store release as well. But the actual Mac version is now available on Steam, and I believe also on the Mac App Store as well. Let me just check this. So the App Store, let's have a look. Hitman, right. So is this a crossplay? Does this get you the yeah, the Mac, iPad, and iPhone version? But as a primarily a desktop gamer, um, I don't really like playing big games on my phone. I feel like it's not the right kind of place for it. Um, I like phone games to be able to dip in and out very quickly, whereas these big AAA titles, I don't really feel are suited to that. I'd rather play it on like a Switch or something if I was going to play it portably. So, it's a weird one. It's great to see this game on the Apple ecosystem, but it's nice to have this on Steam. So if you own the Steam version of Hitman World of Assassination, you also own, if you have the Windows version, you also have the Mac version too, which released earlier today. So I'm going to launch this for the first time. So I played the demo a bunch of times. I'm not really that big of a stealth action kind of fan, but we're gonna do a bit of a playthrough today. So it looks like they've got some new content. Patient Zero Requiem play for free. I do have like the base version of Hitman World of Assassination purchased, but yeah, let's have a look. So let me know in the chat. I don't see anyone chatting at the moment. Uh, let me know if the audio sounds okay. I'm going to launch this. I should have maybe launched this slightly earlier, but it's started nonetheless. So let's see how we are. So it's of course every time you run a Mac game for the first time, it has to do a verification process. Still haven't figured out a way to bypass this reliably, which is interesting. But it's good to see this is working normally. So it has to like sort of like a checksum check where it checks everything is correct according to this maybe a certificate of some kind. But it has to check the bigger the game, the longer it takes. So this game is I think it's like 73 gigabytes, something like that. Let's see. Yeah, 70 gigabytes. And then we're gonna let this one discover devices. And then we have a launcher. Is this a launcher? Is this like a standard game launcher? Okay, good. So let's have a look. I'm just gonna check online. Why is can anyone chat here? Can anyone chat here? Yeah. So normally I get a bunch of chats as soon as I go online. I haven't been streaming for a while. I'm just going to do a Q&A on the YouTube app. Can you type into chat? Because it's very unusual for no one to actually chat. Okay. Oh, I can do a Q&A. Okay, I didn't know I could do that. Okay, somebody's responded. How many GPU cores do you have? Okay, so I should clarify what Mac I have here before we get started properly. So this is it's the M3 Max chip that I've been using for a long time. It's the one with 40 GPU cores and 48 gigabytes of RAM. So that's like the kind of the base higher end non-bin version. So yeah, we're going to test this out now. So by default, we've loaded up. I've got my metal HUD on the top right, and yeah, we're going to accept privacy policy. Let's get started. Let's turn off my Wi-Fi. What system data is more than 170? What to do? What system data is? Yeah, if your Mac is has too much stuff on it, then I really recommend you go to my to clear data. This let me think. How do I find it? Yeah, this video here. You know what? I'm going to link this in the chat because it's very handy. So clear data Mac. I made it 4 years ago, but it's still what? It's still the method that I use now. I'll post this link in the chat. Basically this is a way of like clearing data. I use a free application called Grand Perspective to check what the other storage data is, because the macOS doesn't really give you much information about how to like manage it. So I hope that helps with your query. Think again, 1999. Okay, good. So let's go confirm. Yeah, so I just purchased the full version of the game. It'd be interesting to see how this performs. Let's see what resolution are we running this at? So we can be quite flexible with resolution. So at the moment, what are we doing? How are we running this display? Let me check my display settings. Yeah, default, not the low resolution version, so I can easily pump this up to a 4K if I wanted to. Okay, let's full screen this, and then let's have a quick play around with the graphics setting. So I have an unusually low number of chatters in the stream. So if you're on Discord and you go to my Andrew Mac Gaming channel on the Apple Gaming Wiki Discord, if you see anything there, if you want to mention anything there, it just seems odd that I don't have many people chatting. Okay, so let's look at the options first. Okay, so graphics settings. So saying full 4K, that's detected our default resolution. So it's I'm running like a Retina 1080, so it's 4x that. Well, let the frame rate go to 120 for VSync off, and super sampling texture quality. Let's is there a way to set like a we want super sampling tech off on. So spatial, let's do temporal scaling. Okay. And then performance mode is 1080p scaled up to 4K. So we go balanced, it's like halfway between. So this is not in crossover. This is the full native Mac version, which just released on Steam. So it's also released on the Mac App Store as well. It's hard to say which version you want to buy, because the Steam version, this is the Mac version of Steam, gives you the Mac version, of course. You could buy it for relatively cheaply. The App Store version supports Mac, iPad, and iPhone, just to be clear. We can see the purchase price of this. You know, the full game is $59.99, and you can also buy locations individually as well. Whereas on Steam, you can buy it for much less than that. So this is basically Hitman is $24.99. Well, let me think. Yeah, $24.99. Sorry, no, £23.40. So it's probably similar US dollar figure. And you can also buy these on key sites for much cheaper. And the thing about the Steam version is that you can only play it on Steam Desktop. The Mac version also includes the iPhone, iPad, and I believe it has cross-save support with the Hitman account. So yeah, this has just come out now. So definitely give this a go. Okay, so this is the Mac version, so it has native Metal FX super sampling. So we have the ability to run this as balanced mode, which is what you can see from the Metal HUD. It's like 2496 by 1404, so it's like 1400p. Or we could go for performance mode, which is basically 1080p scaled up. So I might try that first, I might just push these other settings a bit higher because these looks bad. Like not bad, but like not as good as they should be. So why can I not change this option? I only have the option here to. I can't seem to change the quality. Like here, I can change the shadow quality. I can't change the texture quality. Why is that? Okay, so okay, well let's just go for default settings. Let's just go for default settings, and then put this on performance mode. So it's 1080p up to 4K. Controls. Let me just get my inversion on, and then I've got my controller as well. Let me see. On my controller, let me just put this on. It's my controller. Sometimes with these games, you have to like switch on the controller before you launch, because I've definitely got it paired. Oh no, it's not coming up for some reason. Let me just pair this up again. Got a lot of stuff connected up here. So the one maybe it's out of battery. Okay, I just connected up via USB. Yeah, I think that's connected up. Okay, so we should. Let me just restart this game.
47. What we feared most.
So yeah, I'm obviously I'm going to be testing out all of the Macs once they come out. So I'll try to get myself an M5 Max computer. So that's going to be very exciting to test out. I'm very interested in whatever this new low-cost Mac, which everyone is talking about. I've been reading lots of articles about what the new low-cost chip is going to do. RT ray tracing is very forgiving on the crossover versions on Pro chips. I would hope there's RT settings. Okay, I'll have a look once I log in. So yeah, here we're phoning home to the account. So I'm assuming that maybe if you buy the iPhone version, then you could synchronize your account, maybe? I'm not sure. It's not clear to me. Okay, so it looks like there's lots and lots of new. Yeah, okay, we do have DualSense support. Okay, let's just tweak our options again. So I just want to see what happened with that graphics setting, because it's a bit of a weird one. So here we've got texture quality. Can we set this higher? Yeah, I can't seem to change the texture setting. If anyone knows why that is, then I'd be very interested why I can't change that. I think I'll just play on keyboard and mouse. I'm always a bit better at this kind of game. So I'm not sure which. Let me see. Is there like a What are the ray tracing settings? Am I just wrong in thinking that there aren't any? Because that would be a shame, because the M3 Max chip has hardware for ray tracing built in. So another reason why you might want to buy the crossover version is for that ray tracing. But it's weird that we don't have it here. There's no ray tracing. There's no ray tracing options here, which is a shame. Which is a kind of a downgrade, I guess. But like, I don't tend to use ray tracing much when I play games, anyways. I prefer to get better performance rather than anything else. Okay, so which level should I do first? Let's see. So I've already got this. Let me just. So don't know I already owned this. Let me just check. I'm pretty sure I own this already. Campaign. Okay, here we go. So the training, that looks like it comes from Hitman 1, doesn't it? Story, Hitman 2, Hitman 3. Is there this new story option with Miller, you know, the actress Miller in it? Or is that just something that comes later? Well, there's a lot of story in this. There's a lot of missions, right? What else have we got? Patient Zero. Maybe we should run that because this is the stuff that's the campaign stuff is happening. Let's do Patient Zero. Okay. So just to be warned, I'm not very good at Hitman games. I'm not good at stealth games in general. But it's very cool to see like this game running on a Mac now, without having to do all that translation layer nonsense. So it's a cult. Study of life, death, and rebirth. So it's like Mila Jovovich, Jonkovic is the normal marketing material. But let me know if the audio levels are any good because I'll just turn up the volume a little bit in the game. Try and play this as best as I can. I'm walking on a treadmill at the moment. Okay, so the briefing, the target. We have to kill these two people. We start at the terrace. Oh, I already loaded in. No, I haven't. So I've got one entrance, and then I can smuggle something in. What can I smuggle in? So it's the same pistol but chrome instead. Very cool. It's really interesting how this kind of single player game pivoted to this kind of live service model. I wasn't sure people would buy into it, but you know, they've upgraded the game engine and everything multiple times, so it's quite cool to see that. Got coins. No, this is the full native Mac version of Hitman World of Assassination. So just to be clear, this is not running through crossover. This is like the real deal. Okay, let's go to Bangkok. I went to Bangkok recently, and it'd be cool to see this represented here. So this is the M3 Max chip on my MacBook Pro with 48 gigabytes of RAM and 40 GPU cores. So it's the standard M3 Max that I use a lot, which I do most of my testing on. Hopefully that's going to change next week with an announcement for a new game. It's able to run RT on 1080p upscaled. This does look like Bangkok. Okay, so where is my options? Okay, where are the ray tracing options? Because where is it? Ray tracing. Is there ray tracing available in this? So if you're watching a benchmark on a base M4 and it's able to run RT at 1080p upscale, I didn't see that, I'm afraid. Okay. If I'm being stupid, let me know, because I feel like there should be ray tracing super sampling technique. So I'm using Metal Effects. Oh, it was on crossover. Yeah, okay. So that's. It looks like the Mac version does not have. Okay, why is this not remembering my options? Because I want it to go higher than 30 FPS. I want to go up. Graphics. It's saying 120, but it's capped at It's capped at 30 for some reason. Okay. Yeah, so why is it capped at 60? 30? Because the way I've got this set up, I'll just double check my switch res X, because that can tell you the exact resolution I'm running at. So it's running at that Pix high DPI 120 hertz. So it's basically 4K but scaled down. So this should be going at, let me just tweak the graphic setting again, because it might be one of those things that if I push it to 60, it's still capped at 30. Okay, let's just try that again. I can try and tweak something else to get to change this again. So VSync's off. Frame rate should be 120. Super sampling. Can't change this for some reason. That's a weird one. Why am I only running this at 30? Let me just see what I'm doing here. So this is 30 FPS. Okay. If anyone knows, let me know, because this is getting a bit annoying. Because I want to be able to benchmark this properly, and at the moment I can only do this at 30 FPS. What I could do is just tweak my full screen resolution. So instead let's just do, instead of scaling, we'll just turn off. That hasn't actually changed my screen resolution. Feels like these options aren't doing anything. Let me change my, let's change the spatial. Does that do anything? Okay, now we're capped at 20. And that's 30 again. I think it's certainly capable of more than that, for sure. I feel like it's such rock solid frame pacing. If it can work on an iPhone, then it's going to work well on here. Let me just check the anything in the Mac gaming subreddit, reporting anything, because this only came out a few hours ago. Yeah, so it looks like other people are saying that there's a texture quality stuck at low. And no one said anything about it being capped at 30 FPS. Okay, what I'm going to do is go to options, graphics again. Let's try windowed. Is that going to do anything? So now we're capped at 60, just from the windowed thing. But it can. I know that M3 Max can run this faster. Because the display we are using is 120 hertz. The VSync is off. I mean, if I turn that on, then what happens? Nothing. Let me see. Because if I let's say this frame rate limiter is not being used at all, because I set this option just now to 30, and it hasn't like respected that graphic setting. So I'm saying, because okay, what happens if I full screen this? So it drops down to 30 again. See, it wants to be capped at 30 even in full screen. So there's something definitely wrong here. Because here I can get it up to 60, right? And that's odd because if I do that too, it's not quite. It's also still at 60 FPS. That's so weird. It's one of these things like they release a game and they didn't. I don't think they tested it properly because the texture resolution is still stuck at low. And we're capped at 60, unless we, and then if we go direct into the direct mode, we're capped at 30. It's kind of weird. Is it, what, chat, what do you think? Is it, let me think, is anyone actually watching? Because like very few people are actually chatting. I'll do a poll and then see if anyone wants to weigh in. Should I? What? I'm just going to do a quick poll just to see, because the frame rate's capped, right? I can play this game. I really hope they patch this, right? Because I can play this game basically at 30 FPS in full screen. Yeah, you don't think the chat is working. It looks like it's not working because I've just done a poll, and normally the polls are, yeah, I've just done a poll now. Just to see if people want to play this on 60 or 30 FPS. Okay, it looks like people are reacting, but it looks like something's wrong with the chat. Because if I look at the live stream itself, let me just see if I can get into my live stream as like a user, see what happens. I can test it out on a different account. Wait a sec. Yeah, I'm going to decide how to run this. Yeah, I think I just tried logging into my wife's account to look at the stream, and there's something wrong with it, saying like you have to be subscribed for. You have to be subscribed for over 1 minute, which is the default setting. Let me just see if I can tweak that, and then I'll try this. I'll just tweak the video settings for the. Yeah, I'll just change it to anyone can chat. I'll see if that helps. So I've turned off subscribers only mode. Okay. Just says that on my M4 Max, got 150 FPS without Metal FX. Okay, let's turn Metal FX off. Because I feel like that's doing something. Well, it hasn't actually turned it off because the okay, what I'll do is I'll restart. Yeah, so Eric Dahlheim Samuelsberg 7278. Your M4 Max at your nice ultra wide aspect ratio should be working better. So this is full screen now. The menu's going from 60 to 30. Weird. It still has Metal FX turned on. So you have a choice here to choose between the temporal or the spatial upscaler. But I thought I'd just turn this off. Okay, let me just try and fix this first. And then we're gonna delve into the game proper. I mean, for me, this is the game. To being able to, it's very boring testing a game out when there's nothing to fix, right? Okay. Let's see again. So I turned off upscaling, but it's still saying here that it's upscaling. So if I put this, it feels like what I'm going to do is just try to reset all the settings from scratch. Restore defaults. And then that's off, right? But it's still actually changed. It's still actually upscaling to. What I'm going to do, okay, is I'm just going to wipe the application support settings and then see if we can get this to do something else. So we'll just go to application support. So this is where all your kind of settings are saved, and the one for what is this? That's my recent documents. Where are the Hitman save files located? They wouldn't shove it in Cloud Docs, would they? It should be here somewhere. It should be something like. Normally, a Steam game, right, would shove their data inside one of these application support folders. That's normally where like all of the save game data is kept. And if I want to reset the settings, let me just check something. Hitman. Let me just check PC Game Wiki. I don't think this has been. The Mac version hasn't been fully entered yet. All of the data for that, so that's missing That's missing quite a lot. Where is this? Because we have like the Chinese room. We have the other games in the list, which will have data, but then this one is just not here for some reason. Okay, let's just try starting up again, and then we'll see where we get with this. Because in windowed mode, right, I can see, it's running it's defaulting this to 1440p now. What if you turn on temporal and then turn it off again? Thanks, Jay Fishin, for joining the stream. I mean, I did try that. I mean, I turned on temporal and then I turned off. Right now it's on spatial scaling, right? I press enter and then it automatically goes full screen, and then it does this weird thing where it goes from 60 to 30. Right. This authentication thing is very annoying. So there's an option to use the temporal versus the spatial scaling. But it's bizarre that it's not like remembering my settings. Jay Fishin, do you have any idea where the options are the option files are, or the configuration files for this game are? Because I'd like to be able to like reset it, so to speak. I know that if I delete Hitman and then start it up again, it's not actually gonna work. I can turn on temporal, so that will do something. But if I turn it off, it just defaults to spatial. So if I put this on temporal, you'll see the temporals on the right. Let's put on quality mode. What happens if I turn VSync on and then go in the game? Okay, let's do a little bit more, slightly more testing on this. I want to play that. I want to play that side mission, Patient Zero. Okay, let's like get in game and then just like tweak it again, because I can't. It's not possible that they shipped a game like this without actually testing this properly. Am I just going nuts here? Eric Dalheim, can you check if you're still in the chat? Can you check like if whether your settings are being respected, so to speak? Because it's weird that other people are getting the ability to tweak this. So VSync on, VSync off. No difference. Okay, VSync. Turn that off. Okay. I don't think I'm going to mess around with this too much. Unless somebody can like figure out what's gone wrong. I'll play this in this windowed mode for now, I think. Because at least I'm getting like that 60 frames per second. And it looks like in the Mac Gaming subreddit, people are also getting stuck on this too, because you can't change the texture settings. And what about the config file saves? So there's on a Mac, there's two locations where save games are generated. So that one's application support, but there's also this libraries, it's application support containers. What was containers? Maybe I'm wrong. I've kind of forgotten which one it is. Preferences. It's not that because. Where is it? Okay, if anyone can figure out where the config files are, what I'll do is like reset it before I play around with this again. But like, I'm impressed generally speaking, like how it looks. It looks like it's doing well. I'm just massively confused about what the settings menu is doing because it feels like it's doing nothing. Like if I turn off motion blur, okay, I can't. To be fair, I can't tell whether motion blur is on or off there. And let me try. If I reset this back to default, what happens? Basically, nothing happens. This is normally when chat gets involved and then tries to help me figure out what's wrong. Okay, I'm ending the poll. People want me to. People want me to run this at 60 FPS. So it's disappointing that it's capped like this. So I wonder what is wrong. I'm sure that somebody more intelligent than me is gonna like figure this one out. Okay, let's try playing a little bit. The problem is, right, that basically I can't really guarantee that any of these settings are being like used, so to speak. I can't change this to a higher setting. So I don't actually know if any of this is working. I do know that this trigger here to turn on metal effects, that does something, right? And that turns on temporal scaling. If I turn this to full screen, it just goes down to 30 again. Okay, it doesn't want to go to. Well, it's a solid 60. I'm sure that it's one of these like launch issues. I hope that they fix this because it'd be very disappointing when a black mark on what is a perfectly good port so far anyway. Okay, so yeah, this is like a very realistic kind of Thailand.
You are invading my personal space.
Let me turn on. Can I turn on subtitles? Cool. I can adjust the subtitle size. Okay, this is the pier. Sawadee Kap.
Well, we almost got killed in traffic coming here, and you want to move away
Can I steal a boat and then go around somewhere else? Maybe I can steal so there's two guys here. I can't subdue them because one will just warn the other. Okay.
Have a nice stay in Bangkok, Mr. Reaper.
I'm just gonna ask the chat. Okay, so my chat is booked apparently, according to Jay Fishin. Thank you for thank you for checking. Okay, let's continue. I'm just going to continue anyway because no sense in restarting this whole process because I just want to see what the game is like. Chat is a bit booked. Let me just check my wife's account on my other laptop. Well, it does seem to be working, but I did require her to create an account of some kind, like a channel account. Actually, the chat that I just typed in from her account is not actually appearing in the chat, so it looks like it is booked. Like something is gone wrong with this. Because yeah, you know what? I think I am gonna restart this live stream. What's the best way to do this? Let me think. Should I start a new live stream or should I just close it and then start it up again? Not sure. Because I really need some user interaction otherwise, because I actually need some tech support with this game. You would be able to tell 60 FPS that there's a big difference. And also, if you don't like the windowed mode, you could always just turn off. You could just block the top of your screen. Okay. Yeah, so I just typed in a chat from my other account, and it hasn't turned up in my screen at all, which is weird. Okay, so it must be that people are typing and then. What I might do is just start this up again. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end this live stream and then start up again, and then we'll see how we get on. Okay, so thank you for watching. I'm gonna put part 2 up in a minute. Hopefully, a new live stream will fix the chat issue. Okay, so let me know. Just click on my channel. I'll be up in the next like 3 minutes or something. Okay, right. Bye bye.